Hi, Joe Smith with Fluid-Aire Dynamics. I wanted to review some topics with you as far as the hot weather hits us, the humidity in the air is much higher. And with the humidity, that's going to definitely create more condensation in your system. So you not only want to be sure that you've got dryers that are working properly and filtration on your system, but also be sure that your condensation drains are working properly. You have a condensation drain on the discharge of an aftercooler and an air compressor. You have a condensation drain on your refrigerant dryer, and you can also have a condensation drain on your receiver tanks and your filter housings. You want to be sure that these are all functioning properly and not clogged with rust or dirt or debris that's going to prevent your system from allowing that condensation to discharge. The multiple types of condensation drains you could have on your system, one is referred to as a zero loss drain. This is a condensation drain that'll discharge the condensation and water that the system has collected without losing air. These traps at least once a year should be disassembled and cleaned. You want to be sure that there's no debris that's built up inside that would prevent the diaphragms internally from moving and allowing the condensation to discharge. When you disassemble them, get a rebuild kit, you clean them up, reassemble them, and that'll take care of your zero loss style drains. There's also an electronic automatic drains where you can set the frequency of how often the drain opens and how long it remains open. These type of condensation drains will typically have a screen prior to the drain, and this is to prevent rust and dirt and particles from getting inside the drain and getting it to clog up. But you want to be sure to remove the screen on that type of drain and clean it out, and be sure to do that at least quarterly. That'll ensure that the condensation will be able to discharge smoothly. You'll also have that type of drain on your refrigerant dryers, or you could have what's referred to as a float drain in a refrigerant dryer and in your filter housing. These particular drains are screwed into the bottom of the housing, and as condensation rises, it opens an orifice and air pressure pushes them out. Whenever you change a filter element, you should go ahead and replace the float drain. It's a very proactive thing to do to assure that the water and condensation is being discharged. If that is not working properly, the condensation and oil could start to build up and restrict the flow on your filters and require you to change your filter on sooner intervals. Also, if you don't have an electronic or a zero loss drain, you may have a manual drain. And if you do have manual drains once a week, it's a good idea to open up that valve and discharge any of the condensation that's collected in the receiver tank. However, keep in mind some of this condensation could have some oil collected in it, so you want to dispose of it properly. But you don't want your receiver tanks to start to fill up and collect this, so be sure to manually drain those. Keep in mind, by proactively servicing these condensation drains and keeping them functioning properly, that could save you money, and it's going to prevent you from incurring an emergency call due to water collecting in the system and causing problems with your production.